He didn't have a breakdown that evening. No tears, no panic, no sudden realization that changed everything. He just sat there, longer than usual, staring at nothing in particular, and for the first time in years, he stopped asking what was wrong with him. Michael used to think that if something was truly wrong, he would feel it clearly. Pain was supposed to be sharp. Problems were supposed to announce themselves. But this wasn't like that. This was quieter. At 41, his life looked stable enough from the outside. He worked, paid his bills, answered messages with short, polite replies. Nothing was falling apart. And yet, every evening arrived with the same heaviness. Not sadness, not fear, just a tiredness that didn't go away with sleep. He had tried to explain it once, years ago, to someone who cared about him. "I don't know what's wrong," he had said. "I just feel off." They had smiled gently. Everyone feels like that sometimes. So he learned to stop talking about it. Most nights followed the same quiet routine. Dinner that tasted fine but meant nothing. The television playing in the background, more for noise than interest. A phone in his hand, scrolling through lives that seemed more certain than his own. He didn't envy anyone exactly. He just wondered when everyone else had figured out how to be okay. Some evenings, he would turn off the lights early and sit in the dark. Not to sleep, just to be still. He told himself it was rest, but it felt more like waiting. Waiting for something to become clear. Waiting for the part of life that everyone else seemed to understand instinctively. For years, one question followed him into every quiet moment. "What is wrong with me?" He asked it silently, almost automatically. When motivation didn't come, when joy felt distant, when even good days ended in exhaustion, the question became a habit. And like most habits, he never stopped to wonder if it was helping. Doctors told him nothing was wrong. Friends told him he was doing fine. Books promised answers that never quite fit. So he assumed the problem must be internal, a flaw he hadn't fixed yet, a lesson he hadn't learned. And every evening became another opportunity to search himself for answers. That particular evening didn't begin differently. He came home later than usual, the sky already dark, the street quiet in that familiar, almost comforting way. Inside, he set his keys down and didn't turn on the lights right away. The room held a soft outline of shapes, furniture he knew by memory. He sat down without thinking. Minutes passed, then something small happened. Not an insight, not a realization, just a thought that arrived uninvited. What if nothing is wrong? The idea startled him. He almost laughed at it. Of course something was wrong. Why else would he feel this way? But the thought stayed, quiet, persistent. He noticed how tense his body felt, the way his shoulders never quite rested, the way his jaw tightened even when nothing was happening. He had been carrying the question for so long that he didn't remember what it felt like not to. So he tried something unfamiliar. He didn't answer it. He didn't argue with it. Didn't replace it with a better thought. He simply let the question be unanswered. For a moment there was discomfort, then something else, space, a strange, gentle relief he hadn't expected. Sitting there, he realized something quietly unsettling. He had been trying to diagnose his life every night. Every feeling became a symptom, every low moment, evidence. No wonder he felt exhausted. He wasn't resting. He was constantly evaluating himself, measuring, correcting, fixing. Even his quiet moments had become work. This evening asked nothing of him. No improvement, no clarity, no breakthrough. The room was quiet. The world outside moved on without him, and for once, he allowed himself to simply exist in it. He noticed his breath, the faint hum of the building, the way time passed whether he tracked it or not. Nothing improved, but nothing got worse either. And that felt important. Acceptance, he realized, wasn't a dramatic surrender. It wasn't giving up. It was stopping the internal interrogation, letting a feeling exist without demanding an explanation, letting a life be incomplete without rushing to finish it. He wasn't healed, but he was no longer at war with himself. The next morning looked the same as any other. Coffee tasted ordinary. The day ahead felt manageable, not inspiring. But something subtle had shifted. The question didn't appear right away, and when it did later, it felt weaker, less convincing, like a habit that had finally been noticed. That evening didn't solve his life. It didn't give him answers. It gave him permission. Permission to stop fixing. Permission to stop explaining himself to himself. Permission to be unfinished. And that was more than he had allowed himself in years. Some evenings don't come to change you. They come to remind you that you don't have to be a problem to be solved. You can be tired, uncertain, still becoming. And sometimes, the most healing moment is the one where you stop asking what's wrong and simply stay.